So in this video, I'm going to share one of the simplest strategies for budgeting and saving money so that you can build a better financial future for yourself. I think this is something that many people overlook, but it is by far the most important aspect of personal finance. I have friends who are making $200,000 or $300,000 or $400,000 per year, yet they're still piss broke because they don't know how to manage their finances properly. So it doesn't matter if you're making $10,000 a year or $10 million per year. It's very, very important to take this approach, a systematic approach for budgeting and saving money and investing money and doing it properly. So I'm going to share a couple of different strategies that you can use in this video right now. Our goal here is to help people build wealth and create that better financial future for themselves. So if you're new here to the channel, you want to learn more about personal finance, building wealth, increasing your income, then consider subscribing to this channel for more videos like this one. So let's just get started here. Now, it's important to understand your why for this. What is your reasoning for actually creating a budget, for wanting to save money? And in many cases, people just say, well, I want to save money. I want to, I guess, increase my wealth. Who wouldn't? But you want to dig a little bit deeper than that, because this is what can actually help drive you towards reaching those goals and setting those goals that you may have. And that is by understanding your why. So maybe you have a wedding coming up. Maybe you want to go on a worldwide trip around the world for a year and you need to save some money for it. Or maybe you just want to retire much earlier than the average American who retires at age 63. Maybe you want to retire at age 50, maybe age 45, maybe age 35. Some people do it. It's pretty rare, but some people can retire at a very early age because they're able to do something like budgeting. This is like their holy Bible. It's budgeting. People need to budget. Okay, so let's kind of dig into this a little bit. Now, one of the things that I think is so important to do, and I've been doing this for a number of years, the way of viewing this is to run yourself like a business. So I run myself like a business with my personal finances. Now, imagine a business trying to profit, trying to make money without tracking their expenses, without writing down all of their expenses and all of their income. Imagine a business trying to do that. How would they know their profitability? How would they turn a profit? In many cases, they wouldn't. Well, that's how 90% of Americans are, 90% of people in the world are. They don't keep track of it. They try to run the numbers in their head. They say, well, I'm making $4,000 a month. I think I can afford this, but they don't really think it through and they don't write it down, and they end up in a big hole in a lot of cases. So you don't want to find yourself in that position, and that's why it's important to run yourself like a business. Now, businesses will have a number of different financial sheets that they'll actually have. So they have a number of different things that they actually go through and track numbers on. So one of the first things that you can do is run what I would say a personal cash flow statement. So we don't have to get too technical here. It's really not incredibly difficult to understand the basic concepts of this, but let me just show you one here on what you can do. You can plug in all of your income, so any money that you might have coming into your bank account or coming into your possession. Maybe it's your salary, maybe you're on an hourly wage, whatever it may be. Maybe you have a pension coming in, some type of retirement funds. Maybe you have Social Security payments, or maybe you have dividend payments from stocks, right? So whatever income might be coming in would be your total income for that month. So you're going to run this on a monthly basis. And one thing that you can do to kind of smooth out your income so that you can track this properly is what I would do is take your total salary, divide it by 365. So if you are working and say you're making $53,000 per year, divide that by 365 and then multiply it by the amount of days in a particular month. So if there's 28 days in February, you multiply it by 28. If you're in March or if you're in May and there's 31 days, you multiply it by 31 so that you can get the right number for that particular month for income. So hopefully that made sense. If not, just let me know down in the comment section. I'll try to help you out a little bit. But you want to kind of smooth that out so you know exactly how much money you'll be making in that particular month. Okay, so once you fill out all of your income, then you want to fill out all of your expenses. So there's a lot of expenses that many people just don't think about. And this is why budgeting is so important, because all of a sudden you realize, well, what is this payment on my credit card bill that I have absolutely no idea what it is? And it turns out to be that Ancestry.com thing that you signed up for 4 years ago that you just have been paying this entire time because you haven't looked at your credit card statements, because you haven't analyzed all of your expenses. So take some time, fill that out, understand where all of this money is going. And I kind of view this almost as if you're in a boat and you have all these holes in your boat and you need to plug some of these holes of these different various expenses that maybe you just don't need. Maybe you want to get rid of them so that you can avoid your boat, stop your boat from sinking, right? That's kind of how I view it, and it really is a good way to view it. So now, filling this out, once you fill this entire thing out, you'll see your total income and your total expenses. This is the most important part right here. Now, what you want to see is a positive number right here. You want to see more income than expenses. That's pretty obvious, pretty much common sense, but many people have a negative number, or maybe around zero. It's okay to be around zero, but you want to get this number as high as possible within reason. You don't have to live in a cardboard box so that you can save money on rent. You don't have to do that, but it's important to get this number as high as possible without sacrificing the quality of your life. Don't make those sacrifices like trying to eat just rice and beans because you want to save some extra money. Don't go crazy about it, but you want to get this number as high as possible. Now, if you can see this as a budget surplus where you have more money coming in per month than you have expenses, that's a good thing. Most times, many people can't do that. The government certainly can't do that. The government usually has a budget deficit. Yes, the federal government runs a budget where they have all of their money coming in from taxes and various other sources, and then all of their expenses. And in many cases, the government is actually spending more money than they're making, right? Well, you don't want to be in that position. So hopefully, this is a positive number here. Hopefully, you have more money coming in on a monthly basis. Now, this is the one budget template that you can have down in the description, and this one's very important to run on a monthly basis, but it's not the only one. The next one I'm going to show you is actually more, what I would say, actually fun. I actually look forward to doing this on a monthly basis, and that is by creating your own personal balance sheet. So this one is really fun. Now, what this will do is it tracks your wealth, it tracks your net worth, and I think this really has an effect on myself. I've been doing this for a couple years, but I actually just threw this one here for you guys. I threw this one together for you guys just about 30 minutes before I started filming this video right now. But what you can do is on the first of every month, and I really want people to do this because I think it really will help you, but on the first of every month, you plug in all of your assets, so all the money that's in your bank accounts, all the money that's in your various other types of investments. Maybe you can do just your liquid assets, or you can do all of your assets in total. I tend to do all of my assets, right? And then, so an asset, if you're not familiar, it's just essentially something that you own, something of value that you might have in your possession that you could sell and get money for, right? So anything from that, and I put a bunch there for others so that you can fill out something that might be more personal to you, and then it'll calculate your total amount of assets right here. Now, you're going to go down and you're going to fill out your liabilities. These are things that you owe, so maybe debts that you might have, so car loans, student loans, mortgage, credit card payments. There's a lot of different things that can really add up for expenses that people may have, but that's okay. You want to fill this out as realistically as possible, as much as possible, and I find this interesting because a lot of people will actually not fill this out. They won't do this. And the reason for it is because of psychology. They actually are afraid to run a budget because they know how much money they owe. They know they have a lot of credit card bills. They know they have $42,000 in student loans. They have a $20,000 car payment, and they don't want to look at it because they know they're probably going to be in the red. They're going to have negative $12,000 to their name. They might be 31, and they don't want to look at it, right? But this is actually one of the best things you can do to just confront reality, to confront maybe this problem that you have. Maybe you are in debt, but confront it and then track it. And then, you know, maybe you're $12,000 in debt. Maybe you have negative $20,000 to your name. But on a monthly basis, if you do this, you can start to see that progress. Or maybe you're getting worse. But trust me, if you're getting worse, you're either going to do one of two things. You're going to actually fix that problem and start increasing your wealth, or you're going to stop using the budget and just totally not think about it. So hopefully it's the first one, not the latter. But what's really cool about this, so what we're doing here is we're taking all of our assets, subtracting liabilities from those assets to give us our total net worth. Now, if you go over to this other tab here, this will actually show you the graph on a monthly basis of where you stand for your net worth. And this is what I really think can help people. I know it helps me. It motivates me to save more money, to invest more money, to increase my wealth. And it's this chart right here. It was actually pretty simple to create. You can do this on your own. If you'd like to, you can just create your own little spreadsheet, or you can use the one down in the description. It's totally free. It'd probably save you, 5-10 minutes of your time of creating this. Or you can just do this with a pen and paper, but it would take a lot more time with pen and paper. But just doing this and tracking this is really what motivates myself. When I'm able to look at this and say, wow, look at that line increasing on a monthly basis, and maybe there's a month where it goes down. Maybe it dips because you went on a big trip, or you had some medical bills that you had to cover, or maybe it's the Christmas season, you had to spend a lot of money on a lot of relatives for a lot of gifts, and your net worth decreased ever so slightly. But I think this is really fun to keep track of this, and this is really what can motivate you to do better and to do better financially. So going over this right now, there's those two budgets. Both are important to do hand in hand, both of them keeping track of them, right? You have the one for the monthly basis, and then you have the one that keeps track of your wealth over the year of 2019 or over the year of 2020, whenever you might be watching this video. And then you can even create one for long term too. So you can drag this out, and instead of just having these months right here, you can alter this. So maybe if we get past December, you just keep dragging this out, this graph right here, you drag it out even further to the next year and the year after that and the year after that. So you can track your total net worth over years to come. So the key here to do this, guys, you need to set goals. It's important to set goals. Once you look at these numbers, you say, okay, right now I'm saving about $100 a month maybe. And so you can say, well, I want to increase this to $200 a month. Or by the end of the year, I want to save $8,000 or $9,000 or $100,000, whatever income you might have or whatever extra money you might have at the end. Set those goals, and then this is the way to hold yourself accountable. I think so many people will set New Year's resolutions, for example, and then within a few months they forget about it, and then a week before New Year's they say, oh, I remember my goal last year. I was supposed to keep track of my finances, and they never did it. They ended up not reaching their goals, not saving as much money as they wanted to because they didn't track it for themselves. So hopefully you found some value in this video. Like I said, guys, budgeting is so incredibly important. It's so easy to do, and trust me, you're gonna actually look forward to this when you start seeing that progress for increasing your wealth, maybe getting out of debt. You're gonna feel so much better. So hopefully you found some value today. Like I said, if you did, make sure you drop a like and share this with somebody who might be struggling financially, might want to do better financially. So thanks for watching, and I'll see everybody next time.